And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our afternoon sprint, basically our lunchtime sprint. If you guys know us, we're coming from the morning sprint. You guys have seen us stream every day at 8 a.m. Well, as we mentioned last week, some changes have come into place because we want to eat with you guys now. While y'all sitting at lunch on your phone, texting and stuff, you can pull up us live online at WSLS.com and watch us during your afternoon, whatever you're doing, whether you're eating lunch, your commute, whatever, just turn us on because we're going to be right there with you. And of course, you already know that the sprint is not switching up as far as the theme of how we rock this show. We talk about all the different things as far as, the viral stuff that's happening right there, the things that keep people talking, the things that'll make you scratch your head, and sometimes those call to actions that are needed in our community. This is a really good video, though. This is going to be a version of showing you guys the good that happens in our community that just are not just acting as bystanders, okay? So if you're looking at your screen right now, you see you got a bus driver here. Get this, caught on camera. You see this blurry little image right here? Look at this. Boom. That's a kid that he just randomly drove by. But we're going to talk about the quick actions that he did stepping in to save this child's life on a busy, busy roadway. We're going to give some good love and good juju his way. But first and foremost, let's address this. You already know March is Women's History Month. And while a lot of progress has been made, there's still a lot more to do, especially when it comes down to domestic violence. This one local organization is helping in that mission to raise awareness against domestic violence. Domestic Abuse Disruption, or DAD, has helped over 600 women in their escape from situations of abuse. They have also helped with small relocations, stalker training, and their biggest focus is escorting women to and from court so they don't have to face their abusers.
They are safe and the journey continues. You can see them start to sit up a little straighter. They start to walk in. I've even had one that finally told me, she said, "I don't need you to go this time." And I mean, it's like being a proud father. It really is. You're like, she's back.
So there are even safety mechanisms on DAD's website in case your abuser walks in on you using the site. With one click of a red banner, you're sent to a new page with no trace of what you were originally looking at. This right here, I think, is such a beautiful thing. It comes in handy, and I think it's something that is definitely needed in our community because all too often we'll hear those stories of people trying to escape their abuser, men, women, whatever the case may be, but they never have that resource to figure out how to do so in an incognito fashion or in a way that's not going to upset their abuser if they found out. So having dads available as one of those resources is a great, great, great deal. So if you guys want to look more into this story, of course, go to our website at WSLS.com. Something interesting that's happening with Virginia Police Department. Check this out. You already know how I feel about AI. And with that AI, I have trust issues. I think I will forever have trust issues with it. But Virginia Police Department is trying to test out some revolutionary new technology to raise the bar for law enforcement. So Fairfax County Police, they're among the first to use artificial intelligence to review body camera footage. It could also work by monitoring things like detecting use of force events, screening for both professional and unprofessional language, transcribing it into text, and assigning officers a professionalism score.
One of those goals is to use technology and leverage technology to make us better, make us more efficient. So it's truly looked at seeing as a tool that's going to make these body-worn camera footage audits that our supervisors already do, make them more efficient, speed up the time.
So yeah, always a good deal right there. Checking out whatever the resources that we have to make sure our police officers are okay and are trained really, really well. It's always cool to see everybody use technology for the good. A lot of people don't understand that there are so many times that we underestimate the power of technology. But my thing is that, hey, long as it's being used for a good cause, I'm all about it. My thing is, I think it just you will always find that hairy area with, is it legit doing what it's supposed to do? Will it track what it's supposed to track? Who is in charge of saying what's excessive and what's not excessive? Who's in charge of saying what's professional and not professional? I think that's where the big, huge gray areas comes, because at the end of the day, no matter what artificial intelligence is, somebody got to program that stuff to do something, and you know how people don't always have the best intentions in some cases, but that's my only, I guess, question mark with whatever that program is. I would like to see how it's going to help if it does. Okay, Virginia Tech, busy week right now. Of course, the university prepares to host the tournament games for both the women and men's basketball team. Our boy 10 News reporter Thomas Mundy shares what has to get done, though, before the big day.
I've been out talking to Virginia Tech officials today, and they tell me while they are excited for this week, there are a lot of steps in the preparation process before this week's games tip off.
We officially found out who we were playing, what time, TV, and all that, probably around 9:45, 10 o'clock last night.
The women's basketball team is hosting the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament for the second year in a row, and on top of that, the school is also hosting the first round of the men's NIT program for the first time since 2016.
Richmond is going to come in here later today and practice. Our team's going to practice in here, and then Vanderbilt and Columbia will get here and start practicing tomorrow while we're also having a game.
Virginia Tech's Associate Athletic Director Brian Cox tells me while it is a lot to handle, it's their goal to make the experience in Blacksburg great for everyone.
Our mantra is this is home, so anytime that you are a visitor or guest, we want to make sure that we're rolling that red carpet out and treating you as you want to be treated.
But it's not only the university who's preparing for the influx of people. We also talked to one local hotel on their preparations for the busy week ahead.
We immediately were like, let's get ready for it. And then this morning we came in and we had 15 or 16 reservations already booked up starting on Tuesday throughout the weekend.
They say weeks like this are great opportunities for the local businesses.
You see it across football, basketball, but anything that they do. I mean, the economic impact through the entire New River Valley is definitely huge.
And while games start on Tuesday with the Hokies hosting the Richmond Spiders, officials tell me they'll be prepared for anything. Reporting in Blacksburg, I'm Thomas Mundy, 10 News, working for you.
All right, Thomas, thank you so much. Obviously, a lot of people are very excited about that. The economic impact this is going to have on everybody, but more than anything, just supporting our teams, I think is always a good deal, especially when you got the spirit going up and ready to rock for you, okay? We got to get to this, man. I want to give some love to God's Pit Crew, because God's Pit Crew, already know, it's a disaster relief organization out in Danville that does what it can to help others that are going through a tough time, and that's exactly what's happening. They're leaving Danville and going to Ohio after a deadly tornadoes hit last week. Volunteers will remove debris, clear fallen trees, and hand out blessing buckets full of food, water, and first aid kits. Response team plans to stay for about 2 weeks. God's Pit Crew needs to help restocking blessed buckets, so you can sponsor one for $35. Do what you can to help them out, man, because, again, they are making a difference. They're going all over the place. They're not just sticking right here at home. They're going all over to try to help other people figure out how to, navigate through these disastrous events that happen. So, got to show some love for God's Pit Crew. Again, shout out to them for always stepping up to the plate to help where needed. Now, speaking of the weather, we're going to get into details. Got to get to that forecast. Meteorologist Chris Michaels coming up later after the break. We're also going to show you guys how you can get your hands on a free ice cream cone as well. And we're talking about this story that we mentioned earlier regarding a little baby rescued by a bus driver. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be back right after the break. All right, welcome back, guys, to the Sprint in your lunchtime commute. Let's get right into it. A lot of people are wondering what our weather is going to look like. It was a very, very cold start to our day. Make sure you get that jacket bundled up. I'm sorry, man. I spent the weekend in Cleveland, Ohio with my girl, Brittany Weir. You guys know her. She used to be on the Sprint with me, and she's doing bigger and better things at 19 News over there in Cleveland, Ohio. But they had a big St. Patrick's Day event. We went out there, and every time I looked up, it was snowing. Some type of flurries were happening, and it was really cool being in that atmosphere. But when I was traveling back from Cleveland, I was thinking to myself, I'm going back to some warmth, and that was not the case when I woke up this morning. It was very, very nippy. I think it was the breeze that did it for me. So with that, let's get to meteorologist Chris Michaels to say what's in store for our afternoon.
Hey there, guys. Happy Tuesday. It's still pretty windy today. That's going to add to a higher than usual brush fire threat today. In fact, the strongest wind comes tomorrow, so that brush fire threat's going to stay high through Wednesday. Good news is there's indications of a soaking rain late Friday into early Saturday. Shouldn't impact the entire weekend, but at least something beneficial for us to look forward to later this week.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for that beautiful update. And a lot of people who love them some ice cream will always say it's never too cold to have ice cream. And that's especially the case today. So if you're an ice cream lover, listen up. Something to keep in mind, Dairy Queen is having a free cone day deal all day long. Today only, you can get a free soft serve vanilla ice cream cone. It's all a part of their treat season to get everyone ready to go back outside and enjoy the warm weather and the sun. Dairy Queen Executive Vice President says nothing says warmer weather is around the corner, quite like free cone day. They're inviting fans everywhere to grab their friends and families to get their treat season started with something sweet. They're saying that it is a limit, one cone per person, and they're only available while supplies last. So if you guys, again, like you some ice cream, you want to get your ice cream in right now, please take advantage of this deal today. I wonder, do they let the dogs? Does one count for the dog too? Because a lot of dogs like to eat ice cream. But hey, don't question me on that. Do you go up to the window, you ask for me, and let me know, and drop it in the comment section so I can see if I can get Bo a hookup or not. Okay, so speaking of warmer weather, man, you already know the Paris Olympics is kicking up, man. This summer, you can catch the all-time action from the Paris Olympics on the big screen. NBC has teamed up with AMC Theaters to screen select daytimes games live at dozens of places across the country. You can watch starting July 27th, the day after the opening ceremony, and watch all the way through August 11th. Of course, NBC's networks and streaming platforms will also be airing the games if you want to catch them and watch it with your couch or on the road. And of course, you already know WSLS is going to be doing our little sponsor thing as well. So it's going to be always a cool deal to check out and watch some entertaining actions. You can go wrong with Summer Olympics. And I'm excited because there are a lot of big names that are coming back to compete. I think Simone Biles is coming back to compete. Gabby, I'm blanking on her last name, but she's coming to compete, so it's going to be a really cool show, I think, to watch. And obviously, we got to support our Americans. United States all the way. What is it? USA, USA. Okay. Moving on to something else. This is a really cool story right here. We got a pair of pilots in Kansas City giving rescue animals their wings. Check this out. Duo met in flight school, bonding over their love of animals. And now they spend their free time logging hours in the skies while rescuing their furry passengers. Dave and Ari flew their first mission this weekend, taking a pair of chocolate labs from Missouri to Chicago. That's awesome. That's so awesome. I'm sorry if there was some audio playing over there. I think I got the wrong video airing right now. Either way, you see it. You see how cute it is and how awesome it is that they're actually doing something like that for our fur babies. But anytime you can rescue an animal and do so while you're doing something that you love to do as a pilot, I think that's a win-win for everybody. And we were talking about this earlier about how, my dog, he doesn't do well in a car. He absolutely hates riding in the car. So I can only imagine the panic attack he would have if he was flying in a plane. But just imagine a dog being rescued in a plane and how excited they are about looking out the window and seeing what's below. I think that's a really, really cool deal right there. And speaking of saving lives, man, let's get to the story that I've been telling you guys about all day long, something I think we got to show some love and thanks to. A driver with the Milwaukee County Transit System is credited with saving a young child's life. So if you're taking a look at your screen, you see he's driving. Take a look at the camera aboard the Milwaukee Transit bus. What happens is that the driver spots a young child attempting to cross a busy Milwaukee street. Driver springs into action, pulling over his bus. You're rushing out to get the child. Child was half clothed and his feet was bare. You can see the driver wrapping the kid up and placing him in the driver's seat while he calls authority. Now, the child wasn't hurt and eventually reunited with his family. Driver says that he was, quote, petrified because the incident happened on a dangerous street. Get this, guys. This is the 14th child that a driver has saved since they began tracking in recent years. But this is just bizarre, man. And I pray to God, I'm assuming that the kid was able to make it back home and return to his family. But I wouldn't know what to do if I was driving and you see this kid. Look at him just running around. And thank God that he didn't have the bystander mentality where it's just like, nope, not my problem. I'm just going to keep on doing my thing and do my job. No, he stepped in where he needed, grabbed the baby, wrapped the baby up, called authorities, and just waited for police to get there. So I'm pretty sure, it could have ended in a lot worse scenario. But thank God that the baby was okay. Let's get to Jazzy Jazz in here. Jazz, is this not a crazy thing to catch on camera?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how you can catch these crazy moments that no one would believe if you were to go up and tell them. But
Yep.
you're able to catch it on camera so that other people can see. But I'm just so glad the little boy is okay and the man came in to save the day.
Yes.
Just seeing him in that driver's seat just sends chills up and down my arms, and it gives me a lot of anxiety just imagining what could have happened, because I have little brothers and stuff too, and they're always getting into stuff and doing crazy things.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad everything ended okay, and the little boy is okay.
Yes, Lord. And like I said, Lord bless him. I hope we haven't heard anything else, but I am hoping and praying that the boy will safely return back home. But one day when he grows up, he's going to have a story to tell people.
Oh, for sure. He'll always be remembered as the little boy who jumped in the driver's seat on the bus.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So, Jazz, are you an ice cream fan?
Oh, yeah, I love me some ice cream. What's your favorite flavor?
Ooh, well, I'm a cookies and cream chick. All day, every day.
That's a classic. You can't go wrong with cookies and cream.
Yes. Are you going to go to Dairy Queen to get your hookup?
Oh, for sure. I'm going to have to. What about you?
Oh, yeah, no. I think if I have time today, but I am in a health kick right now. I'm trying to get my life together because I got a big trip coming up later. I know everybody's just like, Jeff, you just got back. But yeah, no. I got a big trip coming up that I need to get right for.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that.
All right, Jazz. Well, tell me, do you have anything for me, girlie?
No, that's it for me today. I hope you have a great day.
All right, girl. Well, you have a wonderful afternoon.
All right. Bye, girlie.
Bye. Okay, guys. Well, again, thanks so much for eating lunch with us again on the Sprint New Time. So if you guys ever want to check out what we're talking about, the viral videos that are happening, the talkers, please just, hang around. After the noon, I anchor the noon now, but right afterwards, we're going online and we'll be there for you guys to check out the Sprint with your lunchtime and just have a good time with us. Either way, if you go back and you see this episode and you got something that you want to say or ask us, please drop it in the comment section, because we would love to have that engagement back and forth with you, even if it's just to show some love to, again, the Milwaukee driver who saved the boy, in a very awful situation. Also, if you guys know of any stories that you want to hear us have comments about, let us know. We will definitely try to get to it. But with that, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon on The Sprint. We'll be back here again tomorrow afternoon at 12:30, right after 10 News at noon. We'll see you then.